Hello and welcome to Spicy Toast Gaming and our playthrough of Jhin versus Galio. So this is part 2 of our Jhin guide, just showing you in-game some of the stuff we put in the guide and how you can win with him. So starting off here, let's see what we get for powers. So hold it, like I said in the guide, this is very well for Jhin. He scales well with stuns and then having the defensive power. Very good. Alright, let's go take on the Dauntless Vanguard. I'm going to reroll the Marksman, especially since we got our Boom Crew rookie, which is in most cases just better. Stagehand will be good, even though we don't want units to die fighting the Vanguard. Having that extra stun, if we need to, will be very nice. We got the Mana Soul Student, that's pretty good.
I'm actually here.
So if they attack, we'll just let them. Okay, very nice. We got our Yordle as well as the Mana Soul Student. So I think we'll actually go with the Student, since we'll be able to trigger that even when we are on the defensive.
Everyone here is so cool.
Alright, that's a bit unfortunate. But there's not really anything we could do to stop that.
Ready for deployment.
So they summon the Dauntless Vanguard since one of our units died.
Slow down, will you?
So I'm considering either playing the Stagehand to stun their unit and keep them from wanting to attack, or potentially playing the Marksman to trigger the Mana Soul Student and just chip them down. I think I'll go with that.
Fresh tracks.
Let's see how they both are going up because of
Come to Fortunatus.
our 2-star power.
There won't be a warning shot.
A noble end.
So we'll actually hold off and not play another Marksman. We want that Lotus Trap to trigger while Jhin is on the board. So we'll hold off for now and just play a Corsair.
Let's get it, crew.
Because if Jhin is on the board when that happens, then we'll actually get the stun. So that's one thing you want to be checking to see how close are you to your next Lotus Trap. Alright, we'll just try to avoid them for the most part and attack the Nexus. There we have the Lotus Trap and our captive audience.
That's so cool.
Alright, so we're at 1. This would count for 2.
The curtain rises.
I'm late for class.
So just trying to see if we can get this unit stunned here. I believe the Lotus Trap stuns the weakest. But when we play Jhin, it'll actually be... should be fine, because Jhin, when he levels up, or when he attacks, he's going to get one more.
Places people.
Alright, I'll just have him attack. Don't want the other two to die. He'll go to 6/6. So we'll go down to 2 health, but that'll be okay. I didn't notice before, but the our Mystic Shot actually gave him Overwhelm, which is very nice. We potentially could have won there if we tried to damage the unit, but it's not too much of a big deal
Turn the tide of war.
because we'll just win right here.
Very special. My next act will be sublime.
Injustice.
Yeah, with Jhin, you're always having to pay attention to how close are you to your next Lotus Trap, who is going to get stunned when it goes off. And normally the Lotus Traps do 1 damage. We'll pick this just because it's cheap and extra draw. Yeah. So normally Lotus Traps do 1 damage to the Nexus. When we have Jhin on board, it does 2 because we're using the Ludens. So both of these would actually be okay. For this, you'd be going with Darkness, which since it's a slow spell, it would also be triggering your different abilities. And then here though, Haunted Relic, Black Spear, these also would trigger it. I think I'd rather play with Callista than Viego, but both of these would work pretty well. We'll go towards the champion chest. Also, normally we can stop a good amount of their attacks, or even if they do get Crown Guard out, we'll be able to stun them and keep them from attacking. So the way Crown Guard works is every time they attack, they reduce the cost of their Crown Guards by 1, and their Crown Guard is normally an 8 cost spell that when they play it, it rallies.
Smell that? A fight's a cooking!
My first big mission. That's always been there.
Alright, so we'll try to go for the Mana Soul student. Hopefully they can't kill him, but they possibly
All right,
could.
let's get to work.
Light the fuse.
Alright, so he will die from this, but that is okay. That'll give us a free Black Spear, which way they could just use to kill one of their units.
I can, help.
We want to get those spells off.
Run. Backfired.
I'll write my own story.
Oh, we're out of mana. That's okay.
Feed Demacia!
So we'll play the rookie because he can block. We'll also play the Corsair.
I never miss.
Head to the base. Can't fight on an empty stomach.
Are you new?
Came a long way for a bullet.
So we're just trying to block as much as we can without actually losing any of our units.
Cool.
We're playing the Thermo Beam just to get his ability off.
My work.
Sadly, we're not triggering Lotus Trap since Jhin isn't in hand, but we'll hold on to this for when we need it. We'll just try to get a big attack off with our units and stun their whole board.
Every work demands a piece of ourselves.
Don't mind me.
So, one where we couldn't get Jhin on board, but we were still able to play and win. So we'll just further buff up our Mana Soul student. Making Jhin a bit cheaper is pretty good. Get rid of the Marksman, he's kind of our weakest 2-drop. There is the Squire, but having the draw is actually generally better. There's a chance that this unit could kill Zoe, but Zoe should normally be able to buff herself up more.
Awesome! This is gonna be so much fun!
So Mana Soul student is pretty good, but we don't need that many in our opening hand. They keep starting with the attack token, that's a little sad.
Trickster never loses because Zoe makes the roses!
Alright, so we'll just try to get her off board. I didn't see any burst speed spells.
Troubling under what it doesn't understand, your noodle! That's what you have?
Alright, we'll just play our Jhin.
Art requires a certain...
Place you to the next nebula!
The curtain rises. I have prepared something very special.
Get in the portal!
So we're attacking here. We want to do a bit of damage, and we also want Jhin to scale up by using his ability. So since we have Jhin on board, this is going to do 1 damage. We're hoping that they don't have anything to buff her up. We don't see any burst speed spells, so we'll try for it. We always want to kill Zoe if possible. So we're able to get rid of her. Now we have a captive audience we can hold on to kill her if they drop her again, but we've already killed 2 of their Zoes.
Everyone here is so cool.
Beautiful, is it not?
So we're just going to kill their units so they can't attack and chip us down. That will also trigger the Mana Soul Student.
That's so cool.
Since they're stunned, we'll just open attack, getting a good amount of damage down on them.
Cool. Spell Embers.
So you normally, when you attack with Jhin, you want him to be on the left-hand side so that his ability, where he does damage to stunned units, goes off last. So the way that the abilities work in this game when they go on the stack is the first ones get pushed to the right, and the most recent ones stack up on top of it. So by playing Jhin first, his ability is put closer to the bottom, so that all of your Lotus traps that get triggered by all of your unit spells will go off first. So that way having everything get stunned, and Jhin is doing more damage with his Curtain Call. So we have some extra mana, so we'll actually play the Dancing Grenade to get rid of their unit and get another spell next turn.
Show to remember.
The journey is difficult. These will protect you.
So we have the Lotus Trap and the Mana Soul Student that are going to finish off the enemy Nexus.
There is art here, waiting.
This is why Jhin scales so good with Ludens, is he has so many abilities that go off that normally don't deal that much
I
damage.
have loved you.
So just increasing their damage by 1 essentially doubles the damage of most of the skills.
And seen.
So there was Zoe down without too much difficulty. Capture's very good, but we'll go with Black Cleaver, giving him a lot of survivability. So Disarm is pretty good, reducing all of their attacks, but we'll go with Overwhelm, like we talked in the guide. Making sure your attack doesn't get fizzled out is pretty good. We're going to shoot for the champion chest. So these are all pretty good cards we want to have in our opening hand.
Confine and contain.
Alright, so we'll just start with our Boom Crew rookie.
Control the mages.
Keep the peace.
That's always been there.
I will showcase the beauty of tragedy.
All magic is dangerous. So too are mages.
So since they used up all their mana, we're actually going to play Thermo Beam. We want to get one more trigger. We want to be able to stun their unit with the Lotus Trap so we can't block and kill one of ours. Should have put him on the left-hand side, but it's okay. It's more important when you have a full board full of units.
Stops with me.
But as you can see, he's going to get stunned, and then our attack will go through.
Time to go.
So we could finish him off, but we'll save this for something more needed. We also want to have more spell triggers for Mana Soul Student to chip them down when we're not attacking.
Control the mage.
To control their magic.
Everyone here is so cool.
So we'll just kill this unit.
I will give them a show to remember.
Stop there.
So we'll just open attack with them being stunned.
Like the fuse. Just gonna put this here.
So see how his ability went first, down here, and then their abilities are stacking up
So cool.
here.
Hope this works.
It's very important when you have a full board, because then you're going to get
Careless.
a lot of different abilities and multiple Lotus traps ticking and stunning the enemy.
And see.
So if you place him wrong, his curtain call will damage the stunned enemies, but then afterwards a bunch of people will get stunned by the Lotus traps. So his positioning is actually relatively important. So having a rally that's also a slow speed spell is pretty good, and then Invoke is just a really nice bonus. So we'll actually go for the Fury and just the stat increase. This can be decent, and it'll also be good for our units that are blocking, being able to get their health back when they then attack. So it'll just give us a bit more survivability for our units. So some of these are decent, but I don't really want to put too many more cards in our deck at the moment. So while some of these can be pretty good and would work for you, and I definitely could understand someone picking these up, I think I like to have a very small deck size, more consistent. So I'm just going to leave these, save our money for another power later on. Alright, we'll go for the other shop, get another power. So we'll risk re-rolling this. Hopefully we'll be able to get a 2 cost. We did, but we got another Jhin and Mana Soul, so it's not bad. Oh, there we go.
I never miss.
So we could play this so that when we attack, we could just kill it, but they're going to be able to respond with their spring gifts, so we'll just
Aim. I've got us covered.
try to go like this. They're probably going to use their spring gifts right away. Yep, there it is.
I see the heavens aflame, gods burning in starfire.
So we'll play our Jhin just so we can have a nice blocker.
I will showcase the beauty of tragedy.
Whoa! I can see the magic. magic. I see the heavens aflame, gods burning in starfire. I see the living rise as one to watch their
These
end.
cards are pretty annoying.
Our performance begins.
So we don't really want to play our cheaper units that'll just damage them. We really need to kill them so they can't keep healing. So we'll just attack with our Jhin. It's annoying that they keep silencing all of our units with their skills so they're not scaling. We'll play the Squire just for another draw.
Osu can sniff out any star anywhere.
So I want to get rid of this. I think if we play this, I believe we'll make a captive audience in hand that we'll then use to kill it. Yep, there it is. This is one of their cards that with the Overwhelm, and it scales up whenever you damage an enemy, so it can get pretty crazy.
It was my heart that led me here.
So we will just get rid of it before it scales up.
Ouch! Aw, you're all so cute.
See, I don't want to play the Dancing Grenade because it won't kill anything, which is a little annoying.
Everyone here
We'll
is
try
so
for the Mana Soul
cool.
Student.
No better place than Targon.
Grandfather's here.
I am frightened, but I am ready.
Embrace it. Your adoring public awaits. I will give them a
Embrace your fate, as I have mine.
So we're just stunning their units that have the most amount of health. We're going to try to get as many triggers off as possible. So they don't have mana to heal.
places, people.
I will make this right.
So I would try to grab that, but since we're trying to just end this game, I'm only going to grab the units that could potentially block.
Beautiful.
Although this one potentially is going to get stunned out anyways.
Through my work, you shall transcend. Peace, friend.
So normally with these units getting stunned, the attack would fizzle out. Since all of my units have Overwhelm, we're just getting rid of the blockers essentially, and their damage is going to go straight through.
And with that, perfection.
So these both do have skills, but they also cost a bit more, and they're also skills that only happen once. I'd rather just get another item onto this instead. Sure. Although the one issue is I'm pretty sure this stuns the same enemy twice. If this was Yasuo, that wouldn't be a problem, because he can just hit the target. I don't know if they've changed it, but the last time I've played with this, it just stunned the same unit twice in a row, so it's essentially useless. So I'm actually not going to grab that. Memory game can be decent. Sure, that's fine. So this is burst, which is a little sad for us because we'd prefer it to be actually just fast to trigger with Jhin. But we don't actually have too much draw in our kit. And then the Hex Fabricator is decent, so we'll grab one of those, or I guess two's fine. So since we have this draw, we can now get rid of the Squire. It is also nice that since Jhin really isn't taking any damage, we can just cut cards as a healer instead of having to heal. So the Haunted Relic could potentially be good. We get some blockers out there, and then maybe summon a decent champion.
I never miss.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I've got us covered.
Alright then, I guess. I'm fine with them getting that out of the way early.
The stage is set.
There's magic, and then there's me.
I will give them a show to remember.
So that is a bit unfortunate because now they've shuffled more copies of that into their deck. That costs less.
Places, people.
But we should be able to get plenty of damage down.
Finger on the trigger.
And then also we're going to save our Thermo Beam potentially till later in the game and use that if we need to. We'll use this just for some draw now, and then also hopefully gain a good item that can help us win faster. That's decent.
I can, help.
Beautiful.
Captain's orders. Bullet to the face.
Wanna arm wrestle?
Involve me.
So, a bit unfortunate, but we have other Jhins in hand, because we figured that would happen.
Art requires a certain cruelty.
but they keep using all of their mana on spells, so they still haven't played Viego, so that's pretty good for us. So we'll actually play our, well, yeah, we'll play our captive audience here. Just getting some damage down, but it's more to trigger our Mana Soul student.
I will give them a show to remember. The curtain rises.
So we'll just try to open attack here. They might have some spells or something, but this will be fine.
Cool, I've got us covered.
Yep, that's fine. So I think the reason their spells go in the different order is because one of them triggers when other units attack. So that's why that one is triggering a bit earlier than normal. So we already have Overwhelm. Being able to consistently get him at the start of the game will be good. Round start rally, pretty good. Epic champion chest, yes please. We don't really need her. She's never really been a good enough option to play in most situations.
I'll shoot the wings off a bilge wasp. Ready for deployment.
So we'll just go with these units. We're fine if they die. We want to keep our Corsair healthy, but we also just want to trigger a attack.
Demacian steel protects me. I'll write my own story. To the field.
Alright, we'll just play our big Jhin. So I'll just attack with him just to keep our other units healthy, and he's strong enough to kill any of theirs and still have strength to block. So yeah, I think for the Corsair, the reason hers goes first on the stack is that it's when allies attack, then her spell triggers. So for most other units, it's when they attack. So it's important to put Jhin on the left-hand side, but I think the Corsair is always going to trigger first. So that's something to bear in mind with your placement to get your Lotus Traps triggering before your Deadly Flourish. So we could stun him to save our unit, but we'd rather just kill him.
This is glorious!
My time has come.
Alright, we'll get our Mana Soul student out.
Whoa! I can see the magic.
In range.
So we're going to try putting them ahead of Jhin.
Rises. I have prepared something very special.
Stand strong.
Marcian soldier is worth 10 foes.
So we'll just wait till next round, and then we will trigger the Mana Soul Student and win. Doesn't really matter. We're just gonna win off of the Lotus Trap and Student. So you can just see how much damage you can just do passively, just whittling down the enemy Nexus.
Will be sublime.
Stand strong.
And seen.
And as you can see, we're really not struggling to win any of these matches. There's definitely... I definitely could be playing Jhin better. Since I spend so much time playing so many different champions, with any specific champion, I'm not as intricate with them as I could be. That's why I said in the guide how Jhin is definitely one where it's very rewarding. If you just spent all your time playing Jhin, you would be very good. You know exactly the ins and outs of how every single mechanic works for him, and you just be able to absolutely destroy. Even without playing Jhin too often, you can definitely do very well with him. We'll hold on to Barrier. So since we have so many items on this, and we don't have any 2-mana units, we'll just play this. We'll go with that. So they got Elusive, that's pretty awesome. And this is going to level up our Lucian pretty good. He'll be 1 away. Don't want to attack with him since their Stoning Suppressor will kill him.
Who will stand with us?
It's also good that we're not killing any of their units, so the Dawn Speakers aren't going to buff up their whole board.
I'll write my own story.
Strength and grace, beauty in the blade.
Suffering is the beating heart of drama.
Plug and play.
So we have enough mana for our Mana Soul Student, because our
Everyone here is so
Jhin
cool.
refills mana when you play him.
Places people.
Well, not history.
So no one's able to kill our Mana Soul Student. Still don't want to play with Lucian since some of them, well, the Stoning Suppressor could kill him. And the next person that would get stunned would be one of the Dawn Speakers.
I have prepared something very special.
Keep hope alive! Our allies did not fall in vain.
So soon.
Be strong! These are dark times.
So we'll play our second Mana Soul Student, just so we can have 2
Magic,
triggers.
And then there's me.
So the Stony Suppressor is kind of annoying me, so I'm just going to try to kill him instead of stunning one of the other units. But we should be able to win with this attack here.
Our allies did not fall in vain.
Alright, so we will just attack and win here.
Our word is our bond.
Alright, so now it's just on to Galio.
You have been a marvelous audience.
So we really never use this. So even though it's like 1 mana and it's fine, we're never using it. Alright, looks like we're going up against Senna as the support champion for Galio. So we don't need 2 of these.
Let's get him, crew.
You could say I got a light switch.
Plug and play.
So she potentially can kill both of these, but honestly that's fine.
Don't have any warning shots.
These units don't particularly matter.
Thinking I'll learn soon.
Alright.
Getting dark.
They use their drain spell to heal only like 2 damage, so that's fine.
Suffering is the beating heart of drama.
Everyone here is so cool.
I want the Mana Soul student to stay healthy, so he's going to be at least somewhat harder to kill. They'll be able to block and kill the Gearhead, but that's fine. Well, we might actually... Yeah, with them all attacking, we'll actually get another Lotus Trap off, and they'll get stunned out.
Beautiful, is it not?
Oh, dancing partner.
So we could kill her here, but again, we just want to be sure we have enough triggers. We should be fine since we're attacking, but always something you want to bear in mind.
There's magic, and then there's me.
So we're going to do damage to him instead of stunning him, because the Lotus Trap that's about to go off will stun him for us. And by damaging his health, we also reduce his attack, because he is fortified.
Don't mind if I do.
I will give them a show to remember.
You see how you just keep generating these, especially when you have a lot of units that are constantly playing spells. Alright, so there's Galio down. You can just see the amount of control that he has when he's just able to constantly stun all of their units.
And scene.
Alright, so that is Galio down with Jhin. As you can probably tell throughout this, it was pretty easy to do. Now, definitely you could play Jhin better if you've practiced him than what I did, but even with me playing and not as comfortable with him or not playing him to probably his fullest, you can still see that we were easily able to clear out all of Galio. So definitely pick him up if you want someone that can clear all the content in the game at a relatively easy degree, as long as you're paying attention to all of his different abilities. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching that video. We're putting out daily content for Path of Champions, so if that interests you, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment down below. We're just starting out here on YouTube, trying to grow the channel, so any help is greatly appreciated. Thank you, and have a great day.